The rise of the Ottoman Empire was a story not just of conquering land, but also of mastering the seas. One of the key elements that contributed to the Ottomans' expansion was their ability to secure maritime dominance, and this was achieved through the creation of a powerful and strategic navy. Without naval superiority, the Ottoman Empire's vast territories would have been vulnerable to attacks, and the crucial trade routes they sought to control would have been in the hands of their rivals. The creation of the Ottoman Navy marked the empire's transformation into one of the greatest naval powers in history. In the early years of the empire, the Ottomans were primarily focused on land-based military conquests. Their land army, which initially started as a small force in the region of Anatolia, gradually expanded as the empire grew. However, as the Ottomans pushed further into the Mediterranean and other coastal regions, it became clear that a strong naval force would be essential for maintaining their dominance. The Ottoman leadership, particularly under Sultan Mehmed II, realized that securing the seas was just as important as securing land. With the Mediterranean being a central hub for trade, naval supremacy would be critical for controlling the lifeblood of the region's economy. The transition from a land-dominant force to a powerful naval empire began with the reign of Sultan Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror. His most famous achievement was the conquest of Constantinople in 1453, which marked the end of the Byzantine Empire. This victory not only gave the Ottomans control of a strategically important city, but also placed them in a prime position to control maritime trade routes. With Constantinople as their capital, the Ottomans had access to both the Mediterranean and the Black Sea, making the need for a powerful navy even more pressing. At the time of the conquest of Constantinople, the Ottoman fleet was relatively underdeveloped. While the Ottomans had some ships, they were not a match for the well-established naval powers of the time, particularly the Venetians and the Genoese. Sultan Mehmed II understood that to expand the empire further, he needed to build a navy that could compete with these great maritime forces. He was also keenly aware that a strong navy would allow the Ottomans to exert influence over the Mediterranean, protect their coastlines, and defend their growing empire. To build the Ottoman Navy, Sultan Mehmed II sought out experts and experienced naval commanders from various regions. One of the first steps was to establish shipyards and invest in building ships. At the time, the Venetians and Genoese had some of the finest shipbuilders in the world, and Sultan Mehmed sought to tap into this knowledge. He enlisted skilled shipbuilders, many of whom came from Genoa and Venice, to help build the Ottoman fleet. These shipyards quickly became hubs of naval innovation, producing some of the most advanced vessels of the time. The Ottomans also began to adopt new tactics and strategies, learning from their European counterparts and refining their own methods of naval warfare. One of the key figures in the development of the Ottoman Navy was the renowned admiral Hayreddin Barbarossa. Originally from the Greek island of Lesbos, Barbarossa's early career was as a pirate, but his talents were quickly recognized by the Ottomans. After joining the Ottoman Navy, Barbarossa became one of the most feared naval commanders of his time. Under Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent, Barbarossa's leadership and expertise helped transform the Ottoman Navy into one of the most formidable maritime forces in the world. He played a pivotal role in expanding Ottoman control over the Mediterranean, leading victorious campaigns against the Spanish, the Knights of St. John, and other European powers. The development of the Ottoman Navy was not just about building ships. It was also about establishing a professional and organized naval force. The Ottomans established a dedicated naval administration to oversee the construction, management, and operation of their fleet. This included the creation of a naval school to train sailors, shipbuilders, and officers. The Navy was structured to ensure that all its units, from the smallest ships to the largest war vessels, worked together in coordinated efforts. This organizational efficiency allowed the Ottomans to conduct large-scale naval operations, projecting power across the Mediterranean and into the Red Sea and beyond. Another significant development in the creation of the Ottoman Navy was the acquisition of advanced weaponry. The Ottomans were quick to adopt new technologies, and their Navy was no exception. They incorporated the latest in artillery, including cannons and gunpowder, into their ships. This gave the Ottoman fleet a significant advantage in naval combat, especially in the use of heavy artillery to bombard enemy ships and fortifications. The Ottomans were also known for their skill in naval tactics, using a combination of fast, maneuverable ships and powerful firepower to dominate their opponents. By the time of Sultan Selim I's reign, the Ottoman Navy had expanded significantly. Sultan Selim, also known as Selim the Grim, was instrumental in expanding the empire's reach into the Red Sea and beyond. Under his leadership, the Ottomans gained control over Egypt and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, and the Navy played a crucial role in protecting these new territories. The Ottoman Navy was now a force to be reckoned with, not only dominating the Mediterranean but also expanding its influence into the Indian Ocean and the Arabian Gulf. The Ottomans continued to build their navy under subsequent sultans, and the fleet became a central pillar of the empire's power. The navy was key to the Ottomans' ability to control vital trade routes, maintain security, and extend their empire's influence across 3 continents. The strategic role of the Ottoman Navy was clear. It was the lifeline of the empire, protecting its vast borders and ensuring its economic prosperity. Through these developments, the Ottoman Navy became a symbol of power and a crucial tool in the empire's military and diplomatic arsenal. It was not just a navy of warships, but an essential instrument that enabled the Ottoman Empire to thrive for centuries. By controlling the seas, the Ottomans ensured their dominance in the Mediterranean, establishing themselves as one of the world's great naval empires. As the Ottoman Empire expanded, its navy became an indispensable instrument of power. The role of the Ottoman Navy was not limited to the defense of its borders. It played a crucial part in the empire's military, economic, and diplomatic strategies. The Ottoman Navy, which had evolved from humble beginnings, was now a force capable of projecting power across the Mediterranean, Red Sea, and beyond. This part of the script delves into the strategic importance of the Ottoman Navy, highlighting its involvement in key military campaigns, economic prosperity, and its legacy in maritime history. By the 16th century, the Ottoman Navy had grown significantly in strength and sophistication. The Mediterranean was no longer solely under the control of European powers like Spain and Venice. The Ottoman fleet, under capable commanders such as Hayreddin Barbarossa, established Ottoman dominance over key waterways and strategically important ports. Barbarossa's leadership, in particular, was instrumental in solidifying the empire's position as a maritime power. His victories, including the pivotal Battle of Preveza in 1538, were milestones in the Ottoman quest for naval supremacy. The Battle of Preveza not only destroyed a large part of the Venetian fleet, but also established the Ottoman Navy as the dominant force in the Mediterranean for the next several decades. Barbarossa's ability to adapt to new technologies and tactics made the Ottoman Navy formidable. By incorporating gunpowder-based weaponry, such as heavy cannons, into their ships, the Ottomans gained a decisive advantage in naval warfare. The use of these cannons enabled the Ottoman Navy to sink or cripple enemy vessels with precision, shifting the balance of naval power in favor of the Ottomans. The Ottoman fleet, consisting of large warships called galleons, smaller fast ships, and specialized artillery vessels, was now one of the most powerful in the world. Their control over the Mediterranean trade routes was vital not only for their military conquests but also for ensuring the economic prosperity of the empire. The Ottoman Navy's reach extended far beyond the Mediterranean. Sultan Selim I, in the early 16th century, extended Ottoman influence into the Red Sea and Arabian Gulf, which allowed the Ottomans to control vital trade routes connecting Europe, Africa, and Asia. The capture of Egypt in 1517 by Sultan Selim I further solidified Ottoman dominance in the region. The Ottomans established a strategic presence in the Red Sea, safeguarding their holy cities of Mecca and Medina from potential European incursions. The Navy played a crucial role in securing these trade routes, which carried spices, textiles, and other valuable goods, contributing significantly to the empire's wealth. However, the Ottoman Navy was not just about military might and economic gain. It also had an important role in the diplomacy of the empire. The Ottomans used their naval power to project influence and maintain alliances with other states. The Ottoman Navy was instrumental in maintaining the empire's relationships with North African states, and it served as a symbol of Ottoman power to both European rivals and subjects within the empire. The Ottoman Navy acted as a diplomatic tool, allowing the sultans to exert influence over regional politics through strategic naval deployments. One of the most remarkable features of the Ottoman Navy was its ability to adapt to the ever-changing geopolitical landscape. As European powers expanded their naval capabilities, the Ottomans were quick to respond, constantly innovating to maintain their position as a leading naval power. The Ottomans continued to build their fleet, invest in advanced shipbuilding techniques, and recruit skilled sailors. The Navy was also organized to ensure that it could meet the challenges of an increasingly complex world. The creation of specialized naval units, such as the Kaputan Pasha, was a testament to the empire's dedication to maintaining its naval superiority. The strategic role of the Ottoman Navy extended to the defense of the empire itself. During the 16th and 17th centuries, the Ottoman fleet was engaged in numerous conflicts with European powers, including Spain, Venice, and the Papal States. These battles were not only fought for territorial control, but also for dominance over maritime trade routes. The Ottoman Navy's strength was often the deciding factor in these conflicts, as it allowed the empire to maintain control over its vast territories. The Battle of Lepanto in 1571, however, marked a significant turning point. The Ottomans, despite their naval strength, were decisively defeated by a coalition of European powers led by Spain and the Papal States. While this defeat was a setback, it did not diminish the Ottoman Navy's overall power in the Mediterranean. The Navy's influence continued to be felt in the following centuries. Even after the Ottoman Empire began to decline in the 18th and 19th centuries, the Ottoman Navy remained a symbol of imperial might. The rise of new European powers, the British and the French, began to overshadow the Ottoman fleet, but the Navy still played an essential role in maintaining Ottoman control over its remaining territories. The decline of the Ottoman Navy was not just the result of military defeats, but also due to a lack of modernization, as European powers continued to innovate and outpace the Ottomans in naval technology. In the 19th century, during the era of Western imperialism, the Ottoman Navy was significantly weakened by internal strife, technological stagnation, and the loss of key territories. However, the Navy's legacy remained a testament to the strategic foresight of the early Ottoman sultans, particularly Sultan Mehmed II, who understood that securing the seas was as important as securing the land. The Ottoman Navy had once controlled vast stretches of the Mediterranean, from North Africa to the Aegean, from the Adriatic Sea to the Red Sea. The naval power of the Ottomans allowed them to exert control over one of the most critical crossroads in the world, shaping the geopolitical landscape for centuries. In conclusion, the creation and strategic role of the Ottoman Navy were fundamental to the empire's rise and dominance. The fleet's success in both military and economic ventures ensured the longevity of the empire, allowing it to control crucial trade routes, expand its territories, and maintain diplomatic influence across the Mediterranean and beyond. The Navy's innovations, both in shipbuilding and naval tactics, left a lasting legacy that influenced maritime history for generations to come. While the Ottoman Empire eventually declined, the strategic power of its navy remains one of the most significant achievements in the history of naval warfare.